time to kind of break out the Christmas songs a little bit lately. If you remember last week, well, we'll give you the date first. Where are we? Friday, December 7th. Important day in American history, obviously. As is tomorrow. Red letter, well, okay. But let's not go there. The, what was I supposed to do last week? Christmas tree lighting got rained out. So got to do it tonight. So now if anybody's in Los Gatos tonight, come visit us at 5 or 6 o'clock, something like that, under the big tree, 60-foot cedar tree in the town plaza. So, let's see, I think last week I alluded to the fact, or the, my projects of starting to work on some tunes. I'll get back to that a little bit later. Quick rundown of what we did this week. A couple of student reviews. Speaking of student reviews, I noticed there are a lot of them now. So thanks, you're going to keep me busy through the end of the year. Keep them coming, but you know, there was a time when I was able to get to almost every one that came out, although usually a couple of weeks after they did. But now I see there are a lot of them there, and some I'm really excited to check out that I haven't gotten to yet, and a few that I've looked at and haven't had a chance to talk about yet. So anyway, keep them coming. The more, the merrier, sort of. So what do we got out this week? We got out If I Were a Carpenter, Buddy, and Mark M playing Mr. Soul. Very cool rendition of that. That was starting to sound really cool. Kind of made me want to sit down and just sort of jam along with it and do my own little improv thing. So, and then a couple of Fly on the Walls. This time we look. One more little visit with Fred, starting to work on the solo to Sandman, which is a pretty fun little thing to play. And then Kevin, our beginning finger-picking little lesson as he's messing around with Dust in the Wind. So, and what else? And then, you know, a few weeks ago, we stepped into the Velvet Underground world, and kind of following that up, decided it was time to do a little lesson on Walk on the Wild Side. Pretty easy to play, and yes, you may have noticed I didn't sing it, but there are a lot of songs, a lot of lessons out there that I've put together that I certainly can't do justice, I think, to lose delivery and stuff. So, let's see, there was something else I was going to talk about going on the forum, but I can't remember now what it was because I didn't write it down. But good questions going on in there. Oh, one of them was finger-picking question. That was it. And one of our new members was asking about, you know, a follow-up finger-picking course, follow-up Fingerpicking 101. But Fingerpicking 101 was really just kind of designed to get you to a stage where you could then tackle any, or start working on the blues tunes, the Mississippi John Hurt, Reverend Gary Davis, or the fingerpicking, the freight trains and shades of funk type things, which are listed in the master menu under my name, under guitar instrumentals or something like that, and of course the slack key stuff and the open tuning stuff, and the country blues pack would be worth checking out too. That goes into Sand Dollar Blues and Mississippi, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that was one thing I meant to mention. The country blues set of songs is another good place to go if that's the direction you want to go. But I really thought everybody came up with some great suggestions as far as songs that have cool finger picking in them, whether it's Pearl Jam or Kansas or Emerson Lake. No, he didn't do much. He did very cool flat picking. So, had mostly two other things I want to tell you about that were kind of interesting this week. And one of them was a movie I saw. Actually, I don't know if you can hear this right now. Nope, probably not. But blasting in the backyard and the house right now is the complete plantation recordings of Muddy Waters. So one of my friends, Jim Bruno, we were talking about stuff the other day, and he brought up singers, Etta James and some people like that, and then he said, "Hey, so have you seen Cadillac Records?" I said, "No, I do remember hearing about it." He said, "You got to get it." So I put it in the Netflix queue and watched a great movie about the history of Chess Records, starting kind of in the early 40s, even with Alan Lomax visiting the Delta and running into Muddy Waters. So, and recording him out there in the field. And anyhow, great story. Talks about Chuck Berry, Etta James, Little Walter, harmonica player, and of course Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf. So I've been partly on a blues kick, but that's a little. It sort of evolved into Chicago blues, which is where Chess Records was based, of course. And but I really encourage you to check that out. Now the other thing I've been doing is, as you know, working on, wow, let's see if my setting better than last week. I don't think so. Wait a minute, let me try this again. There we go, now it's kind of warming up. As I'm working on this, I keep running out of gas after a certain point. I always hope to get to the finished part before it melts down completely. Where am I? Don't talk at the same time. Ah! Okay, now we're back on track, maybe. Time to think about what you're doing, and this really fast lick is coming up that I just know I'm going to blow. See, it's starting to trip up. Fingers are melting down now. Right hand, giving up. 2 foot burn, right? Two more measures. Okay. Totally melted down there. Kicks back in. I gotta work on that part. Very cool ending to this thing, by the way, though. Start again. Okay. Nice, huh? Villa-Lobos. And a couple of great chords. Okay, well anyway, so I'm getting a little progress on that one, a little progress on this. Quite have it memorized yet. Keeps slipping up. Stretch. Well, anyway, just a little progress report there on a couple of tunes I've been working on. Some of the harder ones I'm saving for later. But oh, what I was going to tell you though, that was kind of interesting this week. I gotta work on that one more. What I was going to tell you that was really fun today was I, for the first time in a long time, broke out a record listening to Ray Delatorre, classical guitar player, phenomenal, who lived around here, died about 15 years ago. No, only about 10 years ago, I think 94 or so. But a lot of friends of mine took lessons from him, and now I wish I had. Wish I'd studied classical guitar with the great master, Ray Delatorre. And he was a kind of an earlier generation, basically a contemporary of Segovia's. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta decide whether I'm gonna play or talk. Tremolo's getting better this week too. It's still not very good, but. lost. There it is. Almost memorized, I guess. Well, anyway, I gotta get back to work on that. Recuerdos de la Alhambra. What was I talking about? Ray Della Torre, classical guitar record that made me walk out and open up this. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine passed had to get rid of some really nice stereo gear, so I inherited some vintage stuff from the 70s. And for names, some of you older folks, like my age, might remember names like Thorens and Macintosh and SAE and Infinity, speakers that weigh, well, almost as much as I do, but they're huge. Anyway, popped that record on this morning in the living room, and as soon as I heard the first note come out of his guitar, I froze, because music has gotten so splintered, just a minute, and more quantity over quality. Listen, our MP3s on our iPods and stuff, we just get used to this tinny, miserable sound compared to a really well-recorded classical guitar record played on a really nice system. Anyway, I should have brought the record out here to show you, but got to try to track down music by Ray Della Torre. There might be some even available on YouTube. You can see, you could at least hear some of this stuff, but of course then you're only listening to a low-quality MP3 again too. But so I'm going to play something that inspired by Ray Della Torre, from something by this is like one I've known for years, but Francisco Tarrega. You've probably heard me mess with this before. So I'm going to sign off with this classical guitar piece that I hope I don't blow too badly, but it's one of the things that will be part of our classical guitar series as it evolves. It's going to take a few months for all this to come together. I know I've been promising various things, but Adelita. See you next week.